It's time for a new adventure.
Happy New Year and welcome back to Adventures in Business. This is the first episode of season 3 and we are super excited to be here at Risky Studios in East Lansing, which for the foreseeable future we will be recording at. So thank you so much to Risky Studios for working with us. We really appreciate it. There are so many amazing things going on in the 517 area and we're just excited to talk about it in the businesses and keep on doing what we've been doing and continue with season 3. So, how you doing, Lisa?
I'm doing great, Amy. How are you? Ready to start the new year?
I am. I'm excited, of course. And with you, my partner in crime for the podcast, for sure.
I love it.
We have our guest today, Michelle Carlson from the Lansing Art Gallery. Welcome, Michelle.
Thank you. Welcome. Happy New Year to both of you.
Yeah, it's good to have you here. Before we dive in to talk about you and the art gallery, we're just going to chit-chat a little bit about maybe what we've been doing around town. So I can start, of course, like lots of people that live in Lansing. I did a lot of holiday shopping for, right before the holidays. And just this week, I was in the Old Town General Store getting these mugs for our show. I wanted different representations of Lansing coffee mugs, so I got those at the general store. What about you, Lisa?
I love it. So I had the opportunity to go to Plain Picasso. It is a ceramics painting in the Frandor Plaza, and the owner was really nice, and the facility is really cool, and it's just another opportunity to get out and do something fun in the Lansing area. Good. Michelle, what have you been up to?
Well, over the holidays, when my kids were in town, we checked out Williamston Theater in Williamston and saw a really good holiday show, which was actually called Murder for Two. And it's such a wonderful, small, intimate theater that I highly recommend. And a new show starting soon, I think.
Cool. Holiday for two, and it's a murder for two, and it's a holiday movie. I love that concept.
Yeah,
I can relate.
Great.
Fantastic. Well, lots of great things to do in the community, and as we progress in our shows, you're going to hear more and more things that you can get out and reasons for hanging around the 517 area. But I'm going to go ahead and read Michelle Carlson's introduction. So Michelle is the current executive director of the Lansing Art Gallery and Education Center. She's worked to improve communities, find inspiration every day, and cultivate an appreciation for the arts, right? She has implemented a wide variety of arts programs and has over 20 years of experience in community building. She started on the playground, ladies and gentlemen. And she's has a master's of public administration and a degree in Spanish language and culture. Welcome, Michelle.
Thank you. Welcome. Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
So exciting.
Yeah, thanks.
We like to just start with having you. We read an introduction, but tell us more about who you are and what you do.
Well, currently as executive director of the Lansing Art Gallery, I've started at the gallery as an education coordinator and director and created a lot of programming, basically art making and arts education opportunities. Now I'm the executive director. And the gallery has been around Lansing for over 60 years, so it's an institution, a cultural place. It's well known. We have a lot of exhibits and hands-on workshops and other kinds of opportunities we offer the community. But I started out my career, with volunteerism, getting involved on the playground at my kids' schools and the PTA. And I worked for the city of East Lansing for a while, doing community events. Started the farmers market, worked for the art festival. So I've been in a lot of different sectors. But to me, community is most important. And if we don't have places where all people can gather in a common way, we don't have community. So to me, it's really important to build those relationships and provide opportunities for folks to come together.
I love that. So what made you decide to choose art as your avenue for building communities?
I actually kind of fell into the art gallery as a position. It intrigued me, but I've always had appreciation for art. I don't have a degree in art. I'm not like a professional artist, but growing up, the schools, I grew up in Minneapolis, and they always had an importance on the arts. We always went to the Children's Theater. We always went to any of the many museums around town. We read classic books. So it was just kind of these opportunities. But I think one of the important things, whatever the art form is, if it's talk radio, if it's visual arts, theater, dance, music, certainly, is they're all accessible to all people, whatever you love. But it also, again, provides the opportunity to have a conversation. It has this opportunity to create a very safe space to discuss weird ideas.
Yeah.
Because you can deflect your emotions and everything onto the piece of art.
Right.
But you still are engaging and learning about each other. So I think that's why I love art, and that's why it's so powerful.
Yeah. I think it's important to say too here with the Lansing Art Gallery is located in the historic Knapp building, downtown Lansing. And sometimes when people hear art gallery, they think, oh, that's really posh and super expensive and all this kind of stuff. And I want to say here that I feel like Lansing is a little bit more down to earth than that in general. And the art gallery, while it is in a beautiful space and has very beautiful artwork, anybody can go there. You can walk in on your lunch hour in your work clothes. You can get a coffee next door and just appreciate the art. They have a really lovely gift shop and things like that. But it defies the big city notion of an art gallery that's like high end and that kind of thing that, like you said, anybody can walk in and appreciate the art. And I feel like you have something there for every kind of taste.
Yes, I would agree with that. And that's one of our missions. Well, our mission is to support Michigan artists. So we only show Michigan artists in our gallery. And we try to have gifts and art of all ranges and styles. You could buy a mug or a painting or a sticker. I mean, we try to meet people where they are, and we really try to make it accessible and welcoming to anyone, and really trying to break down that barrier or cultural notion we have about the arts and the art galleries.
So how do you vet the local Michigan artists? How do you find them, or do they find you and decide who gets to put in?
Yeah, we have a jury process, so that we just went through so we're scheduled out for 2 years for our exhibiting artists. So we have a solo or group exhibition that runs for 6 to 8 weeks. So we just are opening today our new exhibition, A Space Between, by Gerald Collins, who's a Detroit artist. But all these artists apply. They go through application process, share all their info and pictures of their art, and then we select a jury panel of artists, arts professionals, local and out of the Lansing area, to try to get a good variety of opinions, and then we select the artists. And so right now we have 2 years worth of exhibiting artists. And same goes for our retail gallery. So the other half of the gallery is a retail gallery, which is more a variety of art or items made by artists that also get juried in. Mm-hmm. So we try to find art that's appealing, what we think, to our region, and artists that have skill and it's quality craftsmanship. We have really good wood makers, so you can find some really cool handmade things. We have some textiles, jewelry, pottery. So lots of variety.
So how often do you have an artist exhibition? Is it, you said they go to 6 to 8 weeks, so then you switch it out and do another one. So about every month and a half or so?
Every month and a half, every 2 months.
Okay, so are you featuring about 6 to 7 artists a year then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, this year we're doubling that because we just opened, we have a second floor of the gallery, and it's the mezzanine level of the old Knapp's building, which, if you're familiar with it or have been a long time Lansing resident, used to be a department store, and often people walk in and say, oh, I used to shop here, and on the second floor was blah, blah, blah. So we opened that up. We're going to show artists up there in the same way we do on the first floor in the main gallery. We're calling it the Mezzanine Gallery, or the Mezz.
Nice.
So that show upstairs will open in February. We have one scheduled to start. So it will be opposite the openings.
Okay.
So we should have an opening every month,
Right.
hopefully.
Nice.
Yeah.
And so when you have an opening for a new artist, you usually have a reception.
Mm-hmm.
So people come and there's like wine and cheese and things like
Yes.
that, and it's and the artist gives a talk about their art and
Correct.
all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then for the next few weeks, people can come in and see their art and purchase it and that kind of thing. And then each one of those artist exhibitions is also usually sponsored by a local organization
Correct.
or business. So for all of our listeners, there are lots of ways to get your business's name out there to sponsor lots of activities that are going on in the art gallery. They're always looking for different sponsors, and they do an amazing job of promoting the businesses that are sponsoring those things.
Thank you. Yeah, we try to. We're a community, we're a nonprofit art gallery, so donations, sponsorships. We also have membership. If you want to become a member, which gives you a discount on purchases of art or art classes, and we have special events for our members too. So that's another way to get involved. And everything you do at the gallery, if you contribute or buy a piece of art or just come in, you're supporting Michigan artists, but you're also keeping our economic dollars in the city and in
Right.
Michigan,
Right.
which is really important to keep everything for ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's just such unique things there. You guys have a big holiday show every November and December where you have lots of artists that come in and sell things, and that there is like one of the number one places in the area to get unique gifts for people from Michigan artists. And again, there's all kinds of price ranges too for any budget in there too, which is really nice. You don't have to necessarily go in and spend more money than you have at an art gallery. Lots of things that are affordable.
Yeah, and we also, in addition, if you see something that you really love, like a big painting, we have a few very large scale paintings that are really amazing, but they tend to be a little more expensive. But we have a lease purchase program, so we try to work with you. You can do a payment plan to buy that piece of art, and some people, sometimes you walk in and you see something and it just touches you and moves you and reminds you of something special, or you just develop this connection and you really want it. So we try to work with you. We also have a program that you can, it's a curated art program. So say you're a business and you're redecorating your boardroom, or you have a new office, or you have a new employee and you want to, put a piece of art in there, and you don't really want to go to the big box store and buy something off the shelf. We can help you curate the space and connect you with a local artist and find a piece of art perfect for that space. Or if you have a new building, there's lots of new buildings coming up, or you're a realtor and you just sold a house and you want to give someone a gift. These are all good reasons why to come to the gallery. We have gift cards too that you can use for later. Lots of ways that we can connect you with a piece of art.
Fantastic. So, kind of calling you out a little bit. While all art is amazing, what was your favorite exhibit that you've experienced so far?
At the gallery?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. That's challenging. One of my favorite, it's very memorable for me, and it's been several years ago, was Mark Chatterley, who does large, like adult-size ceramic dogs and people and figures. And we had all these life-size figures in the gallery in our old space, which used to be in the basement. And we would have to walk into the gallery and the lights would be off, but then you could see these shadows.
Right.
But they were just so larger than life and impactful. We still talk about that exhibit. It just made an impact, and it's really cool.
I love that. I love that. And you talked about the programs, right? You've got different programs. What are the age ranges of the art programs that you offer? Are they kids to adults?
For example, we have Artist Talks. So this new exhibition that just opened today, we're having a reception on January 25th, 5 p.m. It's free and open to the public. The artists will be there so you can meet them, and we'll have this artist talk. We'll ask them questions like we're doing right now. That's free, and it's for anyone who attends. We have art making workshops where we hire professional working artists to teach the class, and you spend 2 hours or 3 hours making something that you can bring home. And those vary depending on the artist. So it can be from, usually the youngest is age 7 to, whatever age any person is.
Nice.
Yeah, give some examples of some of the classes that are coming up.
Coming up, we have classes. A favorite one is with Steph Joy Hogan, who's she does a lot of collaging and she does a lot of storytelling. This weekend, we have a cool free workshop with a professor from Olivet College who's going to come, and it's geared towards high schoolers or emerging artists on how to develop your art portfolio. So they'll talk about, like, he runs our program at Olivet. What are they looking for? What do you want to put in your portfolio? How do you take a good picture of your art? It's amazing. We'll get pictures of artists with their, cool painting, but they also have to have their dog in the photo. Because you're like, oh, that's so cute.
Yeah.
Look at Spot there. But we just really want to see the art.
Right.
So things like that, little tips, how to write your artist statement. So that's coming up and is free. Michelle Dietering, a local, really award-winning watercolor artist, is coming to do a couple of things. She does an amazing pet portrait class. Like, you never painted watercolor in your life and you'll leave with a portrait of your pet. It's just amazing to watch the progression and how they create that. So those are, we have a couple drawing classes. We have the whole schedule online through June.
Okay.
And classes.
And what's your website?
Our website is lansingartgallery.org. And you can go there, you can shop online, you can learn anything about us.
Register for class.
For class, become a member, check out our opportunities for artists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weren't you telling me recently that you just became a member of an organization where if you have a membership at the Lansing Art Gallery, then that also gives you access to other art galleries?
Yes.
Yeah.
We belong to Rome, which is a reciprocal organization, so museums and galleries from the U.S. and around the world. I think there's like 500 in the U.S. of museums and galleries that participate in this. So your membership at that museum is good when you travel. So if you go to Detroit and there's one of those museums there, is a part of it, you can use your membership to. Sometimes it's a percentage off the entry fee. Sometimes it's free. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's in their gift shop. I think each center,
has a different way
of using. But nice. It's really cool way to get an extra benefit out of your membership.
I love it. Amy has quite the art collection at her house. She is
She is a visitor of the gallery.
Yes,
and she's a board member of the gallery.
Yep.
Yeah, I have dedicated the walls of my home to promoting local art. So I'm running out of space. So I was just switching them out and stuff. It was just fun too. I was like pretending I was an art gallery owner. What should go here?
Our curator.
Yeah.
Exhibition.
I should have you come over and help me.
There you go. I love
it. Yeah. So let's talk about the fact that the gallery is a nonprofit and some of the ways that you were providing art back to the community. With one of them is your art ability bags, right?
Yeah. So we have a partner. Here's our art ability bag. These little bags we created during the pandemic, and we partnered with a Mid-Michigan Autism Association because, of course, during the pandemic, everyone was locked down. And people with disabilities were disproportionately more isolated due to a lot of reasons. So the president of the Mid-Michigan Autism Association, Kathy Blatnick, has a son who's autistic, and she just couldn't find an activity for them to do. So she called us, and her and I developed this program, an Art Ability Bag. So we've been going now, we're on our third year of Art Ability Bags. They come out monthly. People can sign up. They're geared towards people with disabilities, but it's for any ability person.
Right.
They're free, which I think I said. But each month we create a little project, and the bag has all the supplies. Like this month we have paint and glue. We're making little paper tube cities, so you get to cut paper, and they have directions. We write directions that are very simple. We do an online video so the person can go online and follow along as someone else makes it. So it's really a cool program, and it's really given a lot of joy to people, and families can do it together. And so yeah, I think we've given out thousands of these bags.
And you said every month there's a new project.
Yes.
So you can just come into the gallery at any time that you guys are open and grab a bag free. Yeah.
Or you can register to get them. Or if you're an organization, like we have a partnership with 2 schools in Lansing, their special ed program that take the bags. We bring some to a assisted living center for some seniors that enjoy doing it. And we've partnered with, in the past, group homes or other places like that. So if you're interested in learning more about it, please contact us. We can always assemble more.
Right. You mentioned your website as a way to contact you. What are some other ways people can contact, reach out, take a look about what's going on?
You can follow us on our Instagram and Facebook, mostly is where we post information. You can email us, michelle@lansingartgallery.org.
Or pop in.
Or pop in is the best way.
When you were talking about when, go online and look at art, but I just feel like there's just something different about being in front of the piece itself than behind the computer screen. So I'm going to encourage people to actually go down there and take a look at it versus shopping online, even though it's convenient and easy.
A lot of people who come in have looked online first
and then want to come
and
see
say,
it.
ooh, I really like that painting. I want to see it in person.
Yeah.
And it is interesting because the scale, you don't have the scale sometimes. Even us, when we jury things and we've seen the online application and they're like, oh, I thought that was going to be a really big painting. And it's like, a 6x6 painting.
It's like the Mona Lisa.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks it's really big and it's not. It's actually really small.
So, but painting in particular, I love looking at paintings in person because you can see the brush strokes and if it has movement and the depth of the color, which online just gets flattened.
Right.
It's hard. Even in an HD environment, you can't get the feeling of the artist. Like, a really good artist really puts a lot of feeling and emotion into their painting, and when you see it face to face, you can feel it and see it better than you can online.
Yeah. So we need to mention the art path. Let's talk about
Yes,
that.
Art Path. That's our other. We have so many projects going on. So Art Path will be happening again this summer. It's along the Lansing River Trail. It connects Old Town to Rio Town on the River Trail along through downtown, and we install 20 pieces of public art, mostly sculptures and murals. So if you've been along the art path and have encountered a mural, because we keep those up, that's from our project. So the application, I believe, closes the 1st of February.
So you've got a few days yet.
Yeah, you have a few days to apply if you're interested. On the, I'm going to get the date wrong. I believe it's next Thursday, a week from this Thursday. there's another free workshop if you're interested in applying to ArtPath, but you're not sure what goes into the application or how to describe your project you're interested in. And there's going to be a virtual workshop on talking about how to do that.
Right. So as far as when this episode releases, for anybody who's listening to that right now, that would be tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow.
Yeah, because
Okay.
this episode will come out a week from today when we're recording. Yeah, so tomorrow you can go down to the art gallery and get a free lesson on how to apply to ArtPath.
Yeah.
And there's also sponsorship opportunities in ArtPath too.
So
as well, right?
we have 20 art installations, and that means at least 20 options for sponsorship. So we're looking for sponsors for each individual art installation, and as a part of your sponsorship, you get your name or logo of your business on the sign that stays in front of the piece all summer long, from Memorial Weekend to Labor Day weekend. And we've had over 60, the lowest summer was 60,000. The highest amount of people we've had is 80,000, which was during the pandemic year.
People are out walking.
People are out walking. So that's a lot of people that can see your information for your business.
Well, it's a good look to support the community and the arts.
And you can support the community.
Yep.
And besides on the sign, of course, you're on our website and all the other different promo pieces we do.
So if, talking for a friend,
Yeah.
if you have zero artistic talent and you might want to sponsor because you can't do it, how do the sponsors reach out to you? I mean, we talked about the membership going online
Yeah.
or the...
We don't have the sponsor page up, I don't believe, yet for ArtPath, but we'll have an online portal for that, or you can, talk to me, either come into the gallery or reach out via email, message me on Instagram, or however you message people.
Yeah. Well, and just for our listeners as well, we'll have all the links to that for the show notes of this episode, so you'll be many ways to get in touch with the gallery.
Yeah, and we also have a newsletter, so if you're interested in anything I've been talking about, and I'm sure I've forgotten some things, if you join on our website, sign up for our newsletter. Every month we put out a newsletter that has all the opportunities and ways to get a hold of us and register for the
Upcoming
different
classes,
Yeah.
the different shows, things like that. Yeah.
So that's a really good way to stay in touch too.
So Amy always loves to ask this question. I'm stealing her thunder a little bit, but who in the community would you like to meet?
Oh, who in the community would I like to meet? Oh, that is a hard question.
Well, while you're thinking about that, I can say as a board member of the Lansing Art Gallery and somebody who's always thinking about ways that we can get the word out more about the gallery and fundraising and things like that, because we're a nonprofit and we do rely on a lot of fundraising and sponsorship. I would really like to see more businesses and things like that think about sponsoring some of the things going on at the gallery. To get your own name out there and just support our community in that way. Like Michelle had just said about the ArtPath opportunities, but there are opportunities to support each art show that goes on. So there's 6 on the main level and then the mezzanine level ones and things like that. Or just follow them on social media and get the word out, because the more people that know about the art gallery that can come in there, the more Michigan artists are exposed to people. So if you are a business and you like to sponsor things, consider the Lansing Art Gallery.
Did she buy time?
So I cannot say one person, because I like meeting people and I like meeting all types of people, because I really, my belief in community and belief in people, that everyone has something to offer. So, I think a lot of people think, ooh, it's gotta be, like
Someone famous.
Yeah.
Local celebrity.
Yeah.
And I was trying to think of like a local, but thankfully in my job and being out in the community a lot, I've met a lot of local celebrities and, big wigs, so to speak. I've made acquaintance. So I just want to meet people who invest in their community, love Lansing, have something to offer.
Well, and you mentioned, right, several things that you do to give back to the community as an organization, and just visiting other places as a a citizen, as a resident
Yeah.
of the Lansing area, in giving back. And so we appreciate that. And I think business is all about relationships, whether it's for-profit or nonprofit. And that's what I like about this. We get to meet people and learn more about them and dive into it. Is there anything that you would like to share that we haven't asked you about?
Anything? Your whole podcast is about supporting local business and local things going on. And I just encourage anyone who's listening. I've been challenging myself because I work downtown Lansing, and there's a lot of cool things downtown Lansing. Like Washington Square is a small little area. Like if you just came to Washington Square, you'd probably think, I'm not in a big city. I'm in a little town. But it's very nice. A lot of small businesses, cute little boutiques. We have a bookstore and a plant store and
A game store.
and a peanut shop where you can buy really good roasted peanuts and chocolate, and great restaurants. I mean, you can get Mexican and Cuban and Middle Eastern food or American food.
Right.
You can buy really good cupcakes next door to the gallery. And Strange Matter too is down there. Good donuts and good sandwiches now that Bango's has a truck.
Right.
So you could spend a whole day eating and shopping in downtown Lansing.
Right.
And then, you can come in the morning and then you can, split and go over to Old Town and do the same thing, or go to Rio Town and do the same thing. So it's just like a really nice corridor. And all these places have fun things to do. They all have events. There's, like you're doing a podcast. There's so many things you can do and see and be a part of. You just have to challenge yourself to walk in the door.
Yeah, I know a lot of our listeners are aware of that interesting article that was written about Lansing right before the holidays.
Yeah.
Lansing be a sad little town, and I just really feel like I need to mention this because from a marketing standpoint, that reporter did us such an amazing service
Yeah.
by saying that, because wow, did Lansing rally
Yeah,
against a
absolutely.
common quote unquote enemy. And I mean, memes were created, a logo was designed, and people started talking about all the amazing things going on in Lansing. And so many of these things were mentioned, and hopefully we'll be able to interview lots of those businesses this year. And so I just want to say thanks, to that reporter for doing that, because honestly, it was awesome because it gave us a chance to talk about all the wonderful things about us. So, and a lot of those things are right downtown.
They are right downtown. And I would say, 99% of these businesses love Lansing, and that's why they're there.
Mm-hmm.
They have their heart and soul into what they do. And that's what even makes it more fun going into them.
Right.
So as you're visiting downtown Lansing and you're eating and drinking your way to the gallery, wash your hands before you go in and touch anything.
That is also a good point. You can touch things. I mean, you shouldn't touch paintings or, but if you like a mug, you can pick it up and feel it and see if it's too heavy for you or the handle fits. Or you can take the cover off a candle and smell the scent. Make sure you like it. So you can touch it.
I love it. Michelle, it has been so fun talking with you today.
Thank you.
So much for being our first guest of 2024.
Oh, wow. I'm very privileged.
We love that you're here, and it was just really great learning more about the art gallery, but also your passion for the community in a whole, and I think that's important.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, thank you. It's really awesome.
It's been my dream, actually, to be on a podcast. So.
Really? Oh,
Yes.
fulfilled the dream. Bucket list
Yes,
check
it's a-
for
yes.
first month of 2024.
I
That's
know.
awesome.
It's a good start.
Oh, thank you. Well, that's great. I'm
Yeah.
glad we could do that for sure. So to all our listeners out there, don't forget to check out the Lansing Art Gallery at lansingartgallery.org. Down there in the Nat building the next month. Make it a goal to go out and check it out and tell Michelle how wonderful she did on her show.
Thank you.
And to all our listeners and watchers out there, thank you again for joining us at Adventures in Business. We release new episodes every Wednesday, and you can find us at zdiamedia.com or wherever you listen to your podcast. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for Adventures in Business podcast. Thank you. Have a great day. And as always, go out and make it an adventure.
It's time for a new adventure.
instructions.